Hi everyone, I'm Bonita from Pennies to Dollars, and this is a frugal channel to give you tips and tricks on how to save money. I am a Kansas farm girl, and I was raised by Depression era parents who were born in 29 and 31, and my dad was actually born during the largest stock market crash in history. So they were raised to save, and they taught me a lot of those things as I grew up, and we lived very minimally. So I share those tips and tricks with you in the hopes that I can help you. Take from it what you will. I'm just glad to have you here. Habits are automatic. They're something that we have started doing every day that we don't even think about anymore. Maybe we come downstairs and we start the coffee pot, or we go straight into the shower. A lot of these things we just do as part of our day-to-day routine, and after we start doing them every day, we stop thinking about why we're doing them, or if we should be doing them, or if we should change anything up. We are creatures of habit, and so doing things the same every day gives us a sense of security. And this is why a lot of us just don't question a habit once we start doing something. Like when we buy something, or where we buy something, or how often we buy something. Sometimes I would even joke that my car knew how to get to work by itself, because even my brain could go on autopilot and it would know which exits to take. That's how ingrained our habits and our schedules are in our minds. Sometimes it's just a default setting that we have, like stress eating, things that we do when we are stressed, and we just continue along that line and don't even question what we're doing. And then we are struggling and we're trying to figure out how to get out of the situation that we're in. So this is just to help you think about what your day-to-day schedule looks like, and if it would help you to change it up a little bit, and how to change it up. Sometimes it's really hard to monitor our habits, or to even recognize that we have habits, because they're so ingrained in our day-to-day lives. We have to actually think on how to get out of a habit, or how to stop a habit, or how to change a habit. And I've mentioned this in another video, that we have to replace usually a habit with another habit. And so it's always a good idea to think about what would be most beneficial to us. For instance, I used to be a huge Diet Pepsi drinker. I went through tons of Diet Pepsi. I didn't think I could live without it. I didn't want to live without it. And as prices went up, I realized I couldn't afford what they were charging for soda. And so I cut myself back to one a day. And sometimes I don't even drink one anymore. And I would have never thought that I could have changed that habit, but I just started keeping ice water in this cup on my desk. And by keeping ice water within reach at all times, if I was thirsty, I would just grab that and take a drink. And I realized that a lot of times when I was reaching for that Diet Pepsi, it was only out of habit, because I already had it cold, and I already had it in the fridge, and I wanted something cold. So if I kept something cold on my desk at all times, I didn't go to the refrigerator and open a new one. I just drank my water, and I didn't even miss that habit, because I replaced it with another. Just skipping a day doesn't get us out of that habit, because it's very ingrained in us. So we have to make an effort to replace that every day. I have to make an effort to take my cup with me to work every day. I have to make an effort to put it on my desk every day so I can avoid that other habit. And now I just look for that cup. I don't even think about the Diet Pepsi. I just make sure I always have that cup with me. As you can see, something has to change repeatedly to change that habit that you want to break. And like I said before, sometimes just making it harder to keep doing that habit helps. For instance, me keeping the water within reach and keeping the Diet Pepsi out of reach made it easier for me to grab the water and harder to go get the Diet Pepsi, which then made it easier for me to break that habit. I hope you're following me on this because it really does work. Sometimes we just don't want to change a habit because it does make us feel safe and secure, and we know what to expect. Our days look the same, and sometimes we get bored with our days, but we find comfort in those small things that make them the same every day. So what can we do? How can we get our minds off of cruise control to change those habits? First of all, we have to review our entire day. What do we do start to finish? Start to look at the things that we do every single day, maybe even at a certain time, and think about whether or not they could be done differently, whether or not it would benefit us to do them differently. Are they necessary? Can we take back control of our finances and of our cruise control setting to make something change in that day? So we have to look at ways to alter that day, whether you want to change your diet, or you want to change your finances, or you want to exercise more, anything that you want to add to your schedule and replace a habit that is not working for you. We have to really make an effort to do that until it becomes our normal routine. Prioritize your goals and your needs that you want to see happen. Is it more sleep? Is it better health? Think about what you want to do to make things the way you envision them to be, and then build a strategy on how you're going to make that happen. It can be as complex or as easy as you want. Maybe start with something small, like I did, which I didn't think Diet Pepsi was small. In my world, Diet Pepsi was huge, but it worked. A lot of people will even use visual aids. Maybe they have a big vacation they want to go on, and they'll build a vision board of the different places that they want to visit when they're there. Some people even build that little thermometer and fill it up with red ink as they get closer to their financial goals. For me, I just write down everything that I owe and all of my bills, and I keep track of all of that, and then I check it off, and I keep a running log of my balances, and for me, that is a motivator. But you have to find out what motivates you to stay on that path that you've set for yourself and planned for yourself. And as you begin to build that feeling of security and safety in that new, healthier habit, you will see the benefits, whether it's financial, health, diet, exercise, whatever you've chosen for yourself. You'll be able to see those benefits, and then that just reinforces that habit that you have started. So I hope that this has been helpful to you. Let me know if you have a habit that you want to replace, and I hope to see you in the next video.